Hey everyone. So I thought this might be a great time to do a Q&A and respond to your feedback and ask some basic questions that some of you have asked over the years and months. There's plenty of stuff to cover here, so let's get started. First, we will cover the introduction to my channel. What is the Tropics XLR YouTube channel about? Well, I will tell you. So the Tropics XLR YouTube channel. It is a casual gaming channel that is mainly centered on driving or racing games, as it's my number one favorite genre. But also, I do like to play other genres too, like fighting games, beat-em-ups, and puzzle games, mostly with a score attack motif. The main gimmick of my YouTube channel is customizable races against AI opponents. The aspects include the following: AI opponent racers being customizable, such as cars, cosmetics, and behavior to make them more unique instead of being constricted or restricted to video game development limitations. They can be done using codes or mods just to make the races different and unique, so no two races or sessions will feel the same. If you play a racing game where the opponents just use the same exact cosmetics every time, it would get old and boring rather quickly, so I love opportunities to mix things up every now and then. If a racing game has quick race or single race or custom event mode, it will most likely be covered. If a racing game doesn't have such features, or if there's no way to customize the opponents in any way you wish, it most likely won't be covered. But that just depends on the game. Racers like Driver San Francisco, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2010, and The Run don't have custom race modes or activities whatsoever, or no AI bots in multiplayer races. And that makes it a little hard to appreciate and play because of it, unless it becomes free of its limitations and introduces LUA modding that allows you to enjoy brand new experiences with the same game you enjoy. The games and gameplay videos will be uploaded at random, so you have a random game and unique racing scenario to check out almost every week for your viewing pleasure. This one quote rings very true, and that's why I utilized it on my channel. To quote Forrest Gump, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." And that's exactly the case for the random gameplay uploads, or whatever I feel like playing at the present time. On how I upload my videos, they will be uploaded with the 2048 by 1152 resolution, or in this case 1152p, instead of the regular 1080p uploads. The reason for this is that I despise YouTube's compression for 1080p videos, making them look incredibly blurry than normal with the AVC1 codec. So I have no choice but to upscale them a little bit using VideoPad at 1152p and upload it to YouTube, and that kicks in the VP09 codec, which is not perfect but not awful either. It's way superior to the other one. Until the 1080p blurriness is fixed, I'll be uploading at 1152p, with the exception of some retro games that don't use a lot of colors or resolution, like Tetris or Top Gear. One person said, "Can you show the gaming collections?" Some people are curious to see what my gaming collections is. My answer to most of these is that I decline to show them. There isn't much to show anyways, and I've become a little picky with some games and some genres for certain reasons. However, you can point out some racing games that exist, and I'll tell you if I play them or not and give you my opinion on them. But I'm not too biased on any type of racer, with the exception of NASCAR, so it's all about variety here on this channel. The gaming library that I have for this channel are meticulously hand-picked because they include the ability to do custom races and events, mods to change things up a little, and features that allow opponent vehicles and cosmetics to be randomized, or hand-picked according to the player. I also love games now that you could just start the application and just start playing right away without worrying about story interference or anything, and just enjoying the gameplay and action that it offers. For example, Juice 2 Hot Import Nights may be infamous for some racing game fanatics, but I absolutely love it because the game has everything that I want for a custom single race, despite the arcade-style gameplay. But I like arcade-style racing games, so that really doesn't matter to me. You could take any car from your career garage that you customize and use it as a player vehicle or an AI opponent vehicle. More racing games, both retro and modern, absolutely need to have features like these so you have many reasons to come back to the games you like again and again. That is what powers this channel, and I hope to see more games utilize it, because I feel that is what's been lacking nowadays. Another example is Need for Speed High Stakes, Burnout Revenge, and MotorStorm 1 on PlayStation consoles that have a massive lack of single-player freedom, like no single race, no single event, where you could just choose any car and any track and any event type freely and just launch it and have fun with the game your way without campaign interference. However, mods and cheats have redeemed these two games for many years now, which is, of course, Burnout Revenge and Need for Speed High Stakes, and I believe, without them, they are incredibly bare bones. MotorStorm 1 is an exception currently. You can edit the event data, but it doesn't have easy-to-use modding tools yet, like a custom event menu like Pacific Rift does, or even a debug menu that allows you to set up events the way you want to. But I do hope that they achieve this in the future, and of course alongside Ridge Racer Type 4 on PlayStation. If you're wondering how my videos are made, then click the video link in the description below. That is a behind-the-scenes featurette of how my videos are created the way they are. So that covers the game collections question. There are some people that ask several questions, and it pertains to my racing game history, as well as Need for Speed and Test Drive, the gaming series that I enjoy very much. One person has asked, what is my first racing game? So my very first gaming console that I ever had in my life was the Sega Genesis, and I loved every minute of it. When it comes to racing games, the first ones that I played is Outrun 2019 and Combat Cars. These are the two games that I played a lot, and I still consider them to be my favorites on the system. I do remember playing Power Drive, the rally game by Rage Software, but I only played it pretty briefly. Maybe I'll jump on that game one of those days. One person has asked, what is the best Need for Speed in your opinion? Now, the Need for Speed series was split into several eras. The classic era, focusing on supercars, hot pursuits, and trance music and vehicle narrations, and the Underground era, which is all about colorful tuner and customization, as well as hip-hop music. I believe the best game in the classic Need for Speed era is Hot Pursuit 2 by Black Box Games. The reason for this is that the vehicle handling in that game is phenomenal, even though it's an arcade racer. I love the way the vehicles drive and handle to this day. No other game has even matched a fraction of its greatness. My favorite game of the Underground era is definitely Most Wanted, mainly because the police pursuits are absolutely a lot of fun. To this day, no racing game with pursuits has even matched a fraction of its greatness that the police pursuits in Most Wanted and Carbon provided. Shift 1 and 2 are quickly becoming some of my top 3 favorites in Need for Speed. The more I played and modded it, the more I loved it. I consider it a great alternative to games that I love like Race Driver Grid and Project Gotham Racing, which is set entirely in cities. Well, except Grid, for example, which also has city tracks. I have 2 of my favorite racing games in front of me, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 and Test Drive 2002, also known as Overdrive: The Brotherhood of Speed in other countries. If I had to choose one, it would be Hot Pursuit 2 for the fantastic vehicle handling alone, and Test Drive 2002 had the best variety of vehicles. Now, if we had a racing game with the vehicle handling from Hot Pursuit 2 and the vehicle variety from games like Test Drive 2002 or Project Gotham, it would have been the ultimate racing game. I would so love that. Now I'm going to address the big elephant in the room, and that is about requests. To be clear with you guys, I do not take requests of any kind. I'm sorry to disappoint you like this, but I do not. The reason for this is 1, I don't have much time to pertain to any big and creative requests of any kind. 2, I create and upload the videos the way I want to see or enjoy them. 3, I have a bunch of IRL circumstances that prevent me from being dedicated to requests of any kind. And 4, it allows me to get my creative juices flowing. So, if that bums you out, I don't know what to tell you. However, you can suggest me some games to play, but that just depends on the modes and features the game provides. For racing games, if it has a custom race mode or customizable opponents of any kind, or any kind of technique or tutorial that allows me to edit the game's data, resulting in different opponent cars or cosmetics, then I will definitely give that game a try and make something of it. If it's the opposite, I will not bother with it. For shooting games, if it has competent AI bots or customizable game rules or loadouts, I will definitely check it out. If an action game has any kind of score attack, arena, or survival modes, I will definitely check those out as well. So it would help me greatly if you guys did this. There seems to be an uproar due to my video on the original Cars video game called Cars the Video Game is More Disappointing Than You Think. Critique and Rant. People are getting the wrong impression that this is me just throwing shade on the game. But I'm here to tell you that is all wrong. This is just me pointing out the flaws in that game, or some of the flaws in that game that people refuse to criticize on. Nothing more than that. It's just to show you how this game could have been much better at the beginning. So let me be clear with you guys. I do enjoy Cars the video game. I think it's pretty good. As far as video game tie-ins go, this is one of the solid ones. But if you watch my entire video, I have clearly explained to you all that I find the character roster very disappointing. I was not happy with it. Not at all. And I know I ain't the only one with this. The roster of playable characters in the regular races is totally lacking. I mean, sure, you have much of the Radiator Springs residents, but it lacks some of the more exciting characters of the movie, such as the delinquent road hazards, for example. I love the DRH in the Cars movies, and I was very excited to play as them as a kid, but I was very disappointed back then to find out that you can only play as Wingo and not the others in Cars the video game. It absolutely makes no sense to me why they would do this. It's just so lazy on their part. I really want to play as Boost, DJ, or Snot Rod, but the guys just said, nope, only Wingo. That was like a big slap to the face for me. Some of the other fan favorite characters like Sarge, Fillmore, and Luigi are not playable in regular races, which also sucks. Much of the characters I mentioned are only NPCs that you can race against, not race as. That's right, only against and not as. They also introduce a bunch of new characters to the story mode of Cars the video game, like Fletcher and Barry, but they are also not playable characters either, which also makes no sense to me. And I've seen some people commenting that I shouldn't worry about that and just focus on the open world and story, because those are some of the best aspects about the game. But to be honest with you guys, open world is never really my primary focus on a racing game. Just only the racing and content. Nothing more than that. This is a racing channel, not an open world channel. So if you guys are really fixated about open world, there's other YouTube channels that fulfill that kind of thing. But here, it's all about the racing, nothing else. The later games, like Cars Mater National and Racerama, are a little bit better in my book. I don't know why everyone hates these two games so much, but I actually love them a lot more than the original, all because the character roster in the racing modes are better. They aren't excellent, but they are better than what I've seen before. The character roster in Cars TVG is kind of boring compared to the later games, but that's just me. If THQ and Rainbow Studios give it a little bit more time in the oven with more playable characters to have fun with, it could have been the best game in the THQ Cars trilogy. But it really isn't, and I prefer the future installments. However, despite that, I still think Cars the video game is a good game. It's fantastic if you want the best representation of the Cars world, but when it comes to the racing modes, it leaves so much to be desired. I absolutely cannot wait for the Cars High Octane or Super Drive mod to be finished, which is a combination of all the content from all three games into one, and that'll be the best THQ Cars video game ever. Hopefully this will clear up any confusion that people might have about the video. Okay, so that clears up most of the viewer feedback that I have on this channel. And if you have any other questions, just feel free to ask and I'll try to answer them the best I can. Now I can showcase a couple of new projects that I've been working on. One of them is fighting games related, and I want to do something unique and different with it. You've already seen the videos, but it's custom matches against the CPU just for fun. But the special motif is everyone wears a certain color all across the cast. Regular versus CPU matches will continue to be made without any special motifs, and all the selections will be random like always. However, you've already seen a few of the videos already, like Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, where everyone is blue, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, where everyone is colored yellow, and King of Fighters 99, where everyone is wearing purple, and vice versa. This has been a very fun project, and I will continue to expand upon it for great entertainment value. So even if you have a big interest or a passing interest in the fighting game genre, then hopefully you'll enjoy this, as it's nothing that you've seen before, and I had fun working on these. So I just want to take this moment to thank all of the incredible loyal viewers and fans that have been on my channel since the very beginning, as well as the new fans that just subscribed to my channel. Your support means the world to me. I'm very glad to know you enjoy the videos enough to stick around. Be sure to spread the word and tell your friends if you want something entertaining to see on YouTube on your downtimes, like if you're on vacation or when you're busy at work or anything like that. All for quick bursts of entertaining fun that are well-paced. Thank you very much for your support. I totally appreciate it, and it has been a great ride that will definitely continue to keep going for years to come. And let us continue spreading the word of this special gimmick of allowing custom races and events via modes and mods to be featured as much as possible in racing games from both yesteryear all the way to today, even new projects on the horizon. More ways to play equals more replay value. Thank you again for the support, and happy racing.